This is an original 1794 first American edition of William Guthrie's A New System of Modern Geography. Printed in Philadelphia by the landmark publisher Mathew Carey, this volume serves as a primary record of the intellectual expansion of the young American Republic. One of the defining features of this volume is the direct involvement of Dr. David Rittenhouse, the premier American astronomer and first director of the United States Mint. Rittenhouse meticulously corrected the astronomical portions of the text. Looking at the introduction to Section 1, we see his influence in the detailed Table of the Planets, providing exact diameters and periods for bodies like Jupiter and Saturn using the latest Newtonian observations. The text even includes a specific note on the planet Herschel, which we now know as Uranus, which had been discovered just 13 years prior to this printing. It is housed in its original full calf leather binding with a red gilt-stamped spine label. Inside, the pages show the heavy toning and foxing expected of high-acid paper from the 1790s. Beyond the astronomy, the book provides a heavy focus on the geopolitical landscape of the time. The 1794 preface by Carey notes that this edition added 21 maps, including new data on Virginia, Kentucky, and the Tennessee government, which established this work as a tool of national identity. The Grand Divisions of Europe table provides a factual look at the kingdoms of the era, listing their distances from Philadelphia rather than London, further asserting American independence. On page 322, we find a unique piece of handwritten marginalia in the sidebar. An early owner added a lengthy note regarding the removal of the Duke of Marlborough from the command of the army, calling it an act of the greatest imprudence. This direct interaction with the text transforms the volume from a reference book into a unique historical witness. From its detailed table of coins used by 18th century merchants to its classification of world climates, including early mentions of California and New Mexico, this volume is a strategic cultural asset because it anchors the Irish-American experience in a specific year of intellectual defiance. For an investor, the fact that this is the first American edition, produced by a known Irish revolutionary, Carey, makes it a non-replicable piece of founding-era ephemera. Beyond the broader historical context, the specific chapter on Ireland within this volume serves as a primary vessel for lost records, captured just 4 years before the catastrophic Irish Rebellion of 1798. Most notable is the recording of the ancient name of Ireland as Scotia, a detail of heavy historical weight that identifies the Scythian roots of the people and links them to a lineage of 97 kings. The photography highlights Carey's inclusion of granular economic data, such as the year-by-year accumulation of the Irish national debt. And the detailed customs house accounts for the linen industry. This volume also provides a raw anthropological time capsule of the era. The text documents a land once home to the giant wolf dog, an animal of such uncommon size that it had already become a rarity, eventually vanishing into extinction. In 1641, there was a population of 1,456,000. By 1651, the population had dropped to 850,000. The historical weight of the volume is most evident in its discussion of Oliver Cromwell, whose mid-17th century campaigns resulted in the destruction of nearly one-half of the Irish population. This era left the nation divided among three distinct races: the ancient Irish, the descendants of the English settlers, and the Scots of the North. The text preserves a factual look at a social and economic structure that was largely dismantled by the end of the 18th century. Despite the heavy Catholic presence and the suppression of the majority faith, the text observes a culture of learning and learned men, while candidly noting a social atmosphere where drinking and drunk men were a frequent sight. Ireland was famously deprived of its export trade of cattle to England and other partners, a policy that forced the country to pivot toward the linen industry and provisions for the British Navy. From its Scythian history to its parliamentary struggles, this volume preserves a narrative of a nation that was mapping its own future, even while under the hand of external industry and law. While this volume provides a heavy focus on the Irish narrative, it serves as an expansive global record, documenting the grand divisions of the world during a period of rapid territorial change. The text provides a factual look at the United Kingdom of Great Britain, spanning the history of England, Scotland, and Wales, with detailed tables on the British Parliament and the Royal Navy's reach. Beyond the British Isles, the book maps the vast landscapes of Europe, detailing the divisions of the Netherlands, Germany, and the Russian Empire as they existed in the late 18th century. As you close this volume, you are holding a documented witness to a world in transition, where the giant wolf dog of Ireland was vanishing into extinction, and the American Republic was just beginning to map its own future. From the astronomical precision of Dr. David Rittenhouse to the radical Irish-American legacy of Mathew Carey, the 1794 imprint functions as a strategic time capsule. It captures a world of nations. It is a non-replicable piece of human history, documenting the path of industry, law, and culture for the next generation of curators.
Wall Antiques, executive-approved artifacts, curated by Katz. Your shelf awaits.